In a diplomatic twist that has stunned political observers across continents, London has issued a stern and unprecedented rebuke of South African leadership, specifically targeting President Cyril Ramaphosa and economic freedom fighters, EFF, leader Julius Malema. The criticism, delivered in a blunt and unusually direct statement from the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, has rocked Pretoria and raised serious questions about South Africa's standing on the international stage. The UK's concerns stem from a series of controversial political moves made by both leaders in recent weeks. While President Ramaphosa has come under fire for his government's perceived soft stance on global human rights issues and growing instability in southern Africa, Malema's inflammatory rhetoric, particularly his recent speeches calling for radical economic revolution and threats of land seizure, has raised red flags among British officials, investors, and diplomatic partners alike. What makes this rebuke so significant is not only the force of its tone, but the symbolism behind it. The United Kingdom has traditionally maintained cordial ties with South Africa, often choosing diplomacy and discretion over public condemnation. This sudden break from that pattern suggests a tipping point has been reached. According to the UK's official statement, South Africa is in danger of compromising its democratic integrity and regional leadership due to what it called reckless populism, inconsistent foreign policy, and troubling signs of political overreach. Without naming names in every paragraph, the subtext pointed squarely at Ramaphosa's lukewarm response to escalating geopolitical tensions, and at Malema's volatile and confrontational political style, which the UK sees as fueling division and instability. British MPs, too, have weighed in, calling on Prime Minister Keir Starmer to re-evaluate the UK's diplomatic and economic ties with South Africa if democratic norms continue to erode. Some in Westminster have suggested freezing certain bilateral projects, delaying trade negotiations, and even recalling diplomatic personnel if matters deteriorate further. Meanwhile, back in South Africa, the backlash has been swift. Ramaphosa's office issued a carefully worded response, stating that South Africa remains a sovereign nation, guided by its own constitutional and democratic values, not foreign instruction. The president added that while international dialogue is welcome, external actors must respect our domestic processes. Malema, on the other hand, responded with his characteristic fire. The British Empire must remember its crimes before pointing fingers at Africans, he declared at a rally in Limpopo. We will not be lectured by those who still think they own our continent. His supporters cheered wildly, but critics warned that Malema's combative tone could worsen South Africa's already fragile international relations. Analysts believe this diplomatic rupture could have deeper consequences than many anticipate. Trade between South Africa and the UK remains significant, valued at over £10 billion annually. Furthermore, the UK is one of the largest investors in South African infrastructure, education, and health sectors. A deterioration in this relationship could mean less funding, fewer business opportunities, and decreased influence in international forums where the UK holds sway. In addition, there are concerns about how this will affect South Africa's perception among other Western allies. The United States, France, and Germany have reportedly been monitoring the situation, with insiders suggesting that London's hardline stance may pave the way for a broader Western response. Political insiders in Cape Town are now scrambling to contain the fallout. Several ANC members have privately expressed concern that Ramaphosa is losing control of the narrative, both domestically and abroad. Meanwhile, opposition parties are seizing the moment to question whether the president still commands respect on the world stage. As this diplomatic storm unfolds, one thing is certain: the era of quiet diplomacy between South Africa and the UK appears to be over. What lies ahead is unclear, but the days of international leniency may have ended, leaving South African leaders to face the full weight of global accountability.